On the 29th of April 2026 at around 3 a.m., students from Moi University began their journey for a field study focused on communication and culture in Kenya. The trip marks the beginning of an academic experience that would take the group through several parts of the country, including Nakuru, Naivasha, Narok, and the Masai Mara National Reserve. As the journey continued through the quiet early morning roads, students prepared to observe how communication functions within different social, cultural, and economic environments. The first destination was Nakuru, a busy urban center known for its diverse economic activities and interaction among people from different backgrounds. Upon arrival, the group began engaging with local residents and workers within the informal sector. Through interviews and observation, students explored how communication influences business, customer relationships, and everyday life. In Nakuru, students conducted an interview with a local shoe repairer named Benjamin Ashika. The interview focused on the role of language in communication, business, and social interaction within an urban environment. Benjamin explained that he was born in Butere and identifies as a Luhya. Having lived in Nakuru for nearly 25 years, he described the town as a multicultural environment where people from different communities interact daily.
Asubuhi. Nzuri sana. Kwa majina naitwa Ruth Nasimiyu na mimi ni mwanafunzi katika chuo kikuu cha Moi na hapa tumekuja Nakuru na ningependa nikuulize maswali mawili matatu hivi na itakuwa sawa. Sawa, tafadhali unaitwa nani?
Kwa majina ni Benjamin Ashika, mzaliwa Butere, ni mimi ni Mluhya.
Wewe ni Mluhya? Asante sana.
He stated that he understands Kiswahili, Luhya, and a small amount of Kikuyu. This multilingual ability helps him communicate with customers from different ethnic backgrounds within his business environment.
So, unajua lugha ngapi?
Mimi sana naelewa tu Kiswahili na Kiluhya.
Kiswahili na Kiluhya? So, hapa Nakuru umekaa kwa muda upi?
Nakuru nimekaa karibu miaka 25.
According to Benjamin, Kiswahili remains the most important language in trade because most customers understand and use it. However, he also explained that communication challenges still arise when interacting with individuals who are not familiar with Kiswahili.
Na unapotangamana nao ni lugha gani sana wewe hutumia?
Mimi sana natumia Kiswahili. Lakini nikipata mtu kama Mluhya, Kijaluo pia naelewa kidogo, sio sana.
Asante. So katika kutangamana nao, unafikiria kwamba lugha ambayo unatumia, sana unatumia Kiswahili, unafikiria kwamba hiyo Kiswahili inaleta wanabiashara wenzako pamoja na wateja wako pamoja?
Kiswahili inawaleta pamoja kwa sababu wanajua karibu wa Kenya wote wanaelewa Kiswahili.
Okay.
The interview also explored the role of media and national unity. Benjamin noted that although media can influence society, unity ultimately depends on how individuals choose to relate with one another.
Na ni katika media, ni nini sana unapenda kutazama? Unapenda kutazama TV? Unapenda kutumia simu ama nini unapenda sana kutumia katika media?
Mimi napenda sana kusikia radio na kuona TV kama news na mpira hivi. Vitu vingine sana vipindi kidogo hivi.
Na unadhani ya kwamba TV na radio unapenda kutazama sana, unadhani ya kwamba inaleta Wakenya pamoja?
Inategemea na TV yenye unaangalia.
He further emphasized the importance of promoting Kiswahili as a national language, describing it as a tool that strengthens communication, coexistence, and economic interaction among Kenyans.
Unajua mimi naona tu Kiswahili inawaleta pamoja. Kwa sababu ukiangalia sana watu wengi wanazungumza Kiswahili. Sione lugha nyingine sana kwa sababu najua hapa Nakuru kabila ni mingi lakini sasa wengi wao wanazungumza tu Kiswahili.
So unasema kwamba lugha ya taifa lazima idumu.
Lugha ya taifa lazima tu ikuzwe.
Asante sana. Tunashukuru kwa kujibu maswali na Mungu akubariki.
Karibu.
Asante.
In Nakuru, students also conducted an interview with a florist named Paul, the owner of a flower shop within the city. The interview explored how language, media, and communication influence business and social interaction in an urban environment. Paul described Nakuru as a growing business center with people from different communities and backgrounds. He explained that communication is essential in attracting customers and maintaining daily business activities.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Joseph Amboka, a linguistic media and communication student from Moi University. All right.
My name is Paul.
Yes.
I'm the florist, the owner of this shop, and I love doing my job.
Okay, I'm so grateful to be here,
Right.
and we have some few questions that I want to put across to know more about this city.
Nakuru, it was launched back in two years,
Yes.
and it became a city,
Mm.
and we are thankful for that because it has been a wonderful country, a place
Yeah.
which we always enjoy as business people.
Paul described Nakuru as a growing business center with people from different communities and backgrounds. He explained that communication is essential in attracting customers and maintaining daily business activities.
We can say that's a language barrier,
Yeah.
but we can't avoid them
Yes.
because some elders people, and you need to advise them or to communicate with them with the language that they can understand easily,
Yes.
or you can use the gestures way just to communicate to them.
In Nakuru, students also interviewed a local barber in Bogo to understand how communication supports small businesses. The discussion showed that clear communication is important in attracting customers, negotiating prices, and maintaining good customer relationships. After leaving Nakuru at around midday, the group proceeded to Naivasha, where the environment changed completely from the busy urban setting experienced earlier in the journey. Unlike Nakuru, Naivasha offered a calm and scenic atmosphere centered around Lake Naivasha, one of the most important freshwater lakes in the Rift Valley region. One of the most memorable experiences during the visit was a boat ride guided by Sami. While exploring Lake Naivasha, students observed fish eagles commonly seen around the lake shores. These birds were often perched on trees overlooking the water, watching carefully for fish before swooping down to catch their prey. Their sharp calls and hunting behavior made them one of the most noticeable bird species during the boat ride, adding to the richness of the lake's ecosystem and wildlife experience.
Ni mume na mke.
So for them, hadi samaki kwa tuko katikati. Kwa hiyo vision ya kuona, inaona samaki kwa mbali sana. So kitambo zapanda juu kabisa. Hadi samaki inaonekana tu pale. Na ile ya kuku ile. Ndio kama chukua hizi zani fishing sasa hizi.
While exploring Lake Naivasha, students observed hippos partially submerged in the water. They would occasionally surface before disappearing back underwater. Their presence highlighted the importance of the lake as a natural habitat and the need for careful movement during the boat ride for safety. Bird life at Lake Naivasha was diverse and lively, adding movement and sound to the calm water environment. Pelicans were seen gliding across the lake in groups, moving slowly on the surface and creating a calm visual across the water. Around the shoreline and open water, different birds interacted with the environment in unique ways. Some were seen diving into the water to catch fish, while others stayed still in shallow areas patiently waiting for prey. Smaller birds moved quickly around the vegetation and above the water, filling the space with continuous activity. Together, these species showed the richness and balance of the lake ecosystem. While exploring Lake Naivasha, students also observed the presence of water hyacinth in some parts of the lake. This is an invasive aquatic plant that spreads quickly on the water surface, forming thick green mats. The plant affects water movement and can reduce oxygen levels in the lake, which may disturb aquatic life such as fish and other organisms. It also makes navigation in some areas more difficult for boats. Despite this, efforts are ongoing to manage and control its spread in order to protect the lake's ecosystem and maintain its usability for fishing and tourism activities. From the boat on Lake Naivasha, students also viewed Crescent Island, a wildlife sanctuary surrounded by water. The island is known for its calm environment and free-roaming animals within a protected space. Animals such as giraffes, zebras, and antelopes were seen moving along the shoreline and open grass areas. They appeared calm and undisturbed, showing how the sanctuary supports wildlife conservation by limiting human interference. The experience also highlighted the importance of protecting natural habitats while allowing controlled tourism and observation from a safe distance. While exploring Lake Naivasha, students observed fishing nets spread across parts of the water, even though no fishermen were present at the time. The nets showed evidence of ongoing fishing activities that take place in the lake. This helped highlight how Lake Naivasha supports local livelihoods through fishing, even when direct activity is not always visible during observation. It also emphasized the importance of the lake as both a natural ecosystem and an economic resource for surrounding communities. After completing the lake activities at Lake Naivasha, students spent time enjoying different recreational experiences around the area. Some participated in bike riding, camel riding, and merry-go-round activities, making the visit both educational and entertaining. The group also had an opportunity to enjoy fish meals prepared within the area, adding to the overall experience of the trip and allowing students to interact freely outside the formal learning activities. Later in the evening, the group returned to Naivasha town for the night. Students rested and prepared for the next phase of the journey, with departure scheduled for 4 a.m. the following morning toward Narok and the Masai Mara National Reserve. The following morning, the group departed from Naivasha at around 4 a.m. and traveled toward Narok. Upon arrival in Narok, students briefly stopped for tea and refreshments before continuing the journey. The stop provided a short resting moment before proceeding to the next destination. After the break, the group continued toward the Masai Mara National Reserve for the next phase of the field study and wildlife experience. Upon arriving at the entrance of the Masai Mara National Reserve, students observed several Maasai women selling traditional items near the gate area. The women displayed a variety of cultural products, including beadwork, handmade ornaments, carvings, and decorative artifacts that reflected Maasai traditions and craftsmanship. The area created a welcoming cultural atmosphere for visitors entering the reserve. The interaction also highlighted how tourism supports local communities by creating opportunities for small-scale trade and the promotion of cultural heritage through locally made products. After entering the Masai Mara National Reserve, the group traveled through forested areas and open landscapes while heading toward Koboko Luxury Camp. The journey provided students with their first close experience of the natural environment within the reserve, surrounded by vegetation, wildlife habitat, and scenic views across the area. Koboko Luxury Camp is located within the scenic environment of the Masai Mara National Reserve and offers a blend of natural beauty, culture, and hospitality services. The camp is surrounded by a calm natural setting, with a river flowing nearby that enhances the peaceful atmosphere. This water feature contributes to the ecosystem and supports the overall natural balance of the area. At the entrance of the camp, students observed a Maasai market where local women displayed handmade crafts, beadwork, ornaments, and cultural artifacts. These items represented Maasai identity and showed how culture is expressed and preserved through trade and artistic work. The interaction between visitors and sellers demonstrated how tourism supports local communities by providing a platform for cultural exchange and economic activity. The market also served as a point of communication between different cultures, where meaning is shared through both language and visual expression. Inside the camp, modern facilities such as machine washers and heat dryers were observed. These systems showed how technology is integrated into a natural and cultural environment to support efficient service delivery while maintaining comfort for visitors. The arrangement and organization of the camp also communicated hospitality, order, and cultural pride. Every aspect of the environment, from the natural surroundings to the market and facilities, contributed to the overall visitor experience. This experience showed that communication at Koboko Camp is not limited to spoken language. It is expressed through environment, culture, service, and the interaction between people and place. After leaving Koboko Luxury Camp, the group continued deeper into the Masai Mara National Reserve for the game drive experience. As the journey continued through areas bordering the forest, the environment changed significantly. Dense vegetation and rough terrain created a challenging travel experience. The experience showed how communication becomes important during unexpected situations and how cooperation helps achieve a common goal. After overcoming the road challenge, the group continued with the game drive across the reserve. One of the first animals observed were giraffes moving calmly through the plains while feeding on tall trees. Zebras were also seen grazing together in groups across the grasslands. While wildebeests moved in large numbers within the open environment. Gazelles and impalas were commonly seen throughout the reserve. Their quick movement and alert behavior demonstrated how prey animals survive in areas occupied by predators. Buffaloes were also observed grazing within the reserve, often moving together in groups. The group later encountered elephants crossing the plains in coordinated groups. Their size and social behavior made them among the most memorable animals observed during the trip. Warthogs and ostriches were also seen moving across different parts of the reserve. Predators formed another important part of the wildlife experience. Lions were observed resting within the grasslands, while cheetahs were spotted in open areas of the reserve. Hyenas were also observed during the game drive, contributing to the understanding of predator ecosystems within the Masai Mara. Near some forested areas, baboons and monkeys were observed interacting in groups, demonstrating strong social behavior and communication among primates. Vultures were also seen flying above parts of the reserve, showing the interconnected nature of the wildlife ecosystem. During the game drive in the Masai Mara National Reserve, the group encountered a broken bridge along the route. The road was damaged and the bus could not continue, forcing the driver to turn back. The group had to return and adjust the planned route. This showed how quickly conditions in the reserve can change and how important flexibility is during fieldwork in natural environments. After returning, the group proceeded to the conservancy section of the reserve. At the conservancy within the Masai Mara National Reserve, students learned about wildlife protection and park management. The conservancy helps protect animals, manage natural resources, and ensure tourism does not harm the environment. Officers monitor both wildlife and human activity to maintain balance. Students were introduced to Earth Ranger, a system used to track animals in real time and improve communication between ranges. The system also helps detect overspeeding vehicles, track collared animals, and improve security within the park. This experience showed how technology supports conservation and how communication now includes digital systems used for monitoring and coordination in wildlife protection. After completing activities within the Masai Mara National Reserve, the group returned to Narok later in the evening and spent the night there. The following morning, students began conducting interviews with local residents as part of the communication field study. Unlike the earlier interviews in Nakuru, the interactions in Narok presented several unexpected challenges. Some residents appeared suspicious after noticing cameras and photography equipment. A few individuals misunderstood the purpose of the interviews and assumed the students were investors or outsiders with hidden intentions. This created hesitation and reduced willingness to participate openly in conversations. One interview was conducted with Duncan Tagu, a nail technician who has operated his business for over 2 years.
Labda unaweza tuambia unaitwa nani na hii kazi umefanya kwa muda upi?
Naitwa Duncan Tagu. Nimefanya kazi for 2.5 years.
The interview focused on communication and customer interaction within the beauty industry. He explained that communication with clients depends on the language understood by each customer. In many situations, he uses Swahili together with his mother tongue to make interaction easier.
Wakati unafanya hii kazi, unatumia lugha gani kuzungumza na wateja wako?
Nategemea. Client wanaweza kuja ajui lugha ya taifa. Labda unatumia lugha ya mama kama ndiye anajua. Sasa inategemea na client.
He also noted that language barriers sometimes create challenges, especially when clients speak unfamiliar languages. In such situations, he may rely on visual demonstrations, patience, or assistance from another person to help translate. An interview was conducted with an electrician in Narok to understand how communication affects work and business in a multicultural environment. He described Narok as a town with many opportunities, especially during tourism seasons linked to the Masai Mara National Reserve.
So inamaanisha different languages.
Ziko.
So ushakutana na msee like ukajipata position yenye hamuelewani kama ni biashara.
Tuseme tu mtu mwenye muelewani ni hawa wase wa kahawa. Burundians. The only language they talk is Swahili, of which si fluent. Umse anakuambia kitu anajua ni kahawa ni ambao na tenbo na tenbo na mandazi ni 10. Hiyo tu.
In such situations, he relies on gestures, demonstrations, or translators to help convey information. The interview showed that effective communication is essential in business and that people often adapt their communication methods to overcome language barriers and maintain good working relationships. The field study showed that communication goes beyond spoken language. Through interactions, culture, technology, and environmental experiences, students gained practical insights into the role of communication in society.